So for step 5, attaching the spur gear cover. Well, we're going to basically be doing the same thing we did up in step 3, where we need to use the rubber cement to put this nut inside there. This one is going to be attached okay because it's got the washer and screw just as before. And then what we're going to do is turn this around and attach it to the gearbox that we've completely finished, including the spur gear. And then of course we've got the 4 screws that we need to use, but it's showing that they want you to use the synthetic rubber cement on this cover as well. Now that one's more interesting because that obviously is something you want to be able to take apart for whatever reason, so they don't want you putting something permanent there. So I think we'll probably use the rubber cement on that part too. But that's just kind of interesting to see how that's attached. But again, I think the first thing we're going to do is work on this, flip it around, attach it, and then we'll take a look at this rubber cement section that we've got to add to that. I'm kind of curious. So anyways, here are all of the hardware bits that we need. So I'll set this up and we'll put this all together. So first off, let's grab this cover, and you can see this one is going to be a nut right down there. There we go, that's in place. And we're going to grab our little tapping screw with the little washer, put that on, grab our smaller screwdriver head, and we're going to start screwing that into that hole. Just want to make sure that that is going in correctly. Yes. And you can see on the other side that nut is exactly where it needs to sit. If it'll focus, right there. You can see it right inside there. So I'll just make sure that that little screw is all the way, which it is. So that's how it's going to look on this side. Now on this side, again, they want you to put that in with a little bit of rubber cement. So I'm going to grab a little bit here. This rubber cement comes with this big brush, but I've got enough in there that I don't want a lot of excess. So we will drop a little bit into there. And we'll grab our nut. And slide it in. And on this side, it's in the correct spot. So there we go. There is our nut in place, and this one is in place with the screw. So let's move on to flipping this around and attaching it to the gearbox. So now if we grab our main gearbox, we grab our piece, the other cover that we just finished, we turn it around so that it now is going to fit on top of this. You can see that the one that's right there on the top is supposed to go right there on the spur gear. So that is how the cover looks when it's on there. But you can see that because of the difference in sizes, we have only one of the MA3s, which is going to go into that top hole. That is the one I'm going to do first, because it's going to help because we don't want to get this confused and put in the wrong screw. So since there's only 2 sizes and there's only one of one, I'm going to put that one in first. And that way, when we grab the other ones, it's no big deal. We know exactly where they're supposed to go. So if we look at this, we now know on this side, MA2 is going to go right there. So I'll start screwing that in. I'm not going to go all the way yet. We've got an MA2 down here, so we'll put that one in place. And we've got another MA2, which is going to go right there, which you can see. So now I am going to start screwing this in all the way. So that's in nice and tight. That's in nice and tight. That's in nice and tight. And that's in nice and tight. So there we go. There is our cover over the spur gear, and that's how it should look. Now you can see here this is open, and in closer inspection, this, not only is it going to go over there, but it actually will pop on, because you can see on the back side they're almost like little clips. So I'll put the rubber cement on as they suggest, but that actually is going to snap into place. But I will put a little bit on this all the way around. Just make sure that I don't have enough or too much excess. So it's interesting that they want this on there. But anyways, if we take this now, turn this over, put this on, and pop it in. And there we go. So it's in place. I don't entirely know why we do that with this. It's an interesting design. I don't know what kind of holding properties that's going to have, or why you would end up unattaching that, because if you wanted to get to it completely, we would need to undo all of these screws anyway to be able to get to it, unless it's a shortcut, but I don't see that either. So I'm not sure why that is. If anybody does, please let me know. I'd be curious, because that's a weird design. You can start to feel that it's starting to hold now, but it's still kind of temporary, because obviously I could just spin this off and it would break the seal of the rubber cement. But that's what they want, so there we go. So there is that full gearbox. We've attached the gear cover, and I'll just clean up this mess of some of the excess rubber cement. But we are finished with step 5. So we are now going to move on to step 6 and work with the motor and attach the pinion gear.